Well, it's good to see everybody tonight. If you're catching me on the replay, well, I appreciate that greatly. We're just going to hang out for a little bit, let some people get in here, and then we'll get excited. I'm going to get excited. So excited. I just can't hide it. And while we're doing that, I seem to have stuff to do while waiting on all you wonderful people. All right. Ooh. A little cleaning to do today. We're working on that. We had a doctor's appointment today, everybody. I got another watch box, so I've gotten a bunch of my older watches fixed, so I need to get the secondary box that's been in storage kind of cleaned up and ready to be used tonight or this week. So, get that kind of there. I did post and drop the link. If anybody wants to come up in the chat as the night progresses. And like I said, if you're catching this on the replay, which I know a lot of you guys do, which I greatly appreciate, stick around. There we go. I made some headway. I did on some of my watches, my older watches. So now my original box is overflowing. Let me see if that's helpful. Sometimes I forget. Just don't need it. When nobody's at the house but me, I really don't need any headphones, right? Made in China, of course. Oh, these are. There we go. Very nice. Hello, everybody. Good to see y'all. Don't be shy in the background there. Come forward. Say hello. We got a bunch more live streams we're going to be doing over the weekend. Saturday in particular. We got a big baby shower we're doing here at the house. Big party. Woo! We party time on Saturday. I think it starts at 5 o'clock my time. So about 2 hours earlier than this. Love for you guys to come join us for the baby shower. Uh-oh. I lost my daily bopper. Don't be shy. You're welcome to throw a chat out and say hello. Let's see about this watch. Been a busy week already. It's been busy. It's only 7 days into the year. And I feel like Holy Button Park cracks. It's a long week, or a long year so far. I've been going through all of my watches because I got a bunch of watches that I need to kind of get cleaned up and put batteries in and maybe try to sell them for a few dollars. I got so many watches. some women's watches, men's watches. I need to work on that some. Went to the doctor today. If I take that out, no, that won't work. There we go. You guys don't be shy. Now I screwed this up. Oh, I know how it goes. Craig is in the house. They are going to be grateful. Oh shit, Craig. Are they going to be grateful, Craig? What do you think? How are you, Craig? Good to see you, my friend. Oh, is that missing a pin? I think I'm missing a pin right there. Good to see you. How are things in your part of the world? Are they going to be grateful? I don't think that's part of their part of their DNA. Oh crap! Dang it! I don't think it's part of their DNA, Craig, to be grateful. I mean, I really don't. I was talking to somebody today more about that because some things have really irritated me as of late, Craig. You know, so I don't think people are grateful. Trying to survive the heat wave. Man, I wish we had a heat. Well, we do have a heat wave. For us, we're having a heat wave. It is 55 degrees. It's been up to about 70 degrees all week, off and on. Next week, back in the 70s and the 80s. And Saturday's supposed to be in the 50s. But for us, we're in a heat wave, a January heat wave. We don't know what's happening. How's the family, Craig? Yep, big party this weekend. Had a big party last weekend. We party too much. Or we don't do enough drugs. One of the two, right? But thought I would do some StreamYarding tonight. I had an open conversation with all of you outstanding people watching the handsome me. I had a weird experience today at the doctor's office, hence our title for tonight. Sometimes, life is funny. Did I ask you how the family was, Craig? Hope I did. Yeah, we're having a heat wave. Craig, we are getting ready. If you didn't know this, we have a bunch of ships coming to Australia to give you a bunch of daycare centers. We apparently have a lot of extra daycare centers in America, and we heard you guys need some. So we're going to send you the daycare and their workers. I am. Not very chilly. 42 Celsius. Woohoo! That's a warm day, I'm telling you. That's warm. Is that in the 90s? We are still looking to hire a guard for the food. on Saturday. If anybody needs a job, I got a job opening. They're going to be 108. Okay, holy crap. Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember when I was cultivating cultures, we used to put it on 32 to grow cultures. And I think that was, you're right, very nice. Man, that's a hot day. Are you having any winds with it or just heat, 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 heat? And is that abnormal for you guys during this time of the year? Or is that kind of a normal summer for you? I wonder what the peso in the Philippines is today. Let's see if I can Google that. Still hot as that, yeah. Any way you look at it, right? Bit of early February. Well, we're off too, to be honest. It's usually a lot colder for us. So we don't know what's going on with the weather. I got a feeling that maybe late February we'll get our butts kicked here with snow and ice like nobody's seen before. Because usually by this time we are really cold and maybe you've already had a little bit of a good snow here. Nothing major, but so I was talking to a buddy of mine today and like we feel like we're behind. It kind of feels like it's still late October, November here. But as you know, someday that's going to change, right? Nothing stays the same at all. Nothing stays the same for sure. But yeah, by mid-January, we're usually in January's for us in this part of the country is usually about our coldest month of the year into early February. And then about mid-February, it starts to kind of warm back up a little bit and trends back into March and April. So January is when we are the coldest for sure. But it's going to be in the 50s Saturday, and then supposed to be in the 70s all for the next week. At least you have oil for heating. We don't heat with oil. I think heating oil in America is really not that common. It used to be real common, like up in the Northeast. New York, Pennsylvania, places like that. That's where heating oil was. We don't do heating oil here. We do natural gas or electric in my part of the country. The large majority of the country, I believe, is either on natural gas, propane, or electric. I think the heating oil has probably gone away over the years now. I'm just happy this year that our furnace is running okay. You know, that I had it finally fixed from the builder who built the house, all their sloppy ass HVAC work. I had to pay companies to come in and fix and redo things. So this year should be our best year from a heating and air conditioning standpoint for the winter. The first winter here was horrible. Then, Venezuela's, yes, yes. Well, we don't use that for heating. We use it for cars. You know, we're gonna take it all, baby. Yes, I got you. Voila, yes. And man, what do you think of that, Craig? What do people in your part of the world think about that? Do they think Trump is a bully and kidnapped the guy, or do they go, "Wow, that was a good deal"? Whether you, I actually, it doesn't bother me to be honest. I put it out there. I don't care. What I will say though is I think it sends a gigantic message to the world that the United States military is back, meaning they're at the top of their game versus the way they were the last 8, 12 years. So I think it should send a message to people around the world that one, we have a president who, you know, will kick your ass, but two, we have a military now that is capable of, being badasses, you know, whether you agree with whether it should have been done or not, the way it was done, the efficiency, the speed of it, that's pretty damn impressive. I mean, I thought there for a minute maybe we hired the Israelis to do it. I'm like, man, it sounds like, you know, we become the Israelis back in the day. So you know, and I'm not don't know enough about it to comment. Yeah. And I'm not a great geopolitician guy. I don't know a lot either myself. I do think there's a long-term strategy at play. I think there's definitely way more than we ever know going on. How is Australia though, Craig? I know I was seeing on Sky News the other day, once again, they were talking about how your young people, I think under the age of 12, can't do social media. Is that right? Is it 12? I like to watch Sky News because I think they're funny. And I thought they were saying 12 or under, or maybe it was 16 and under. Not able to do social media, which is not a bad thing. Weird, controlling, but not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, YouTube does that. I don't think you can start a YouTube channel if you're under 16 or 14, right? But you got to be like 16 and above to do a YouTube channel. Because I know friends that have started YouTube channels for their kids, and YouTube has said no. But thank you all for being here in the background. Don't be shy. Come forward. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I am famous. I'll tell you that story in a little bit. I did have to go to the doctor today. Under 16 is banned. Now, here's the thing I got to ask about that, Craig. Because like here on this channel, we get a whole lot of young people, and that come to the chats. We do. A lot of the YouTubers don't want the young people on their channels. I don't necessarily have a problem with young people. I just want everybody to recognize that this person's a kid. So we don't need to treat them like an adult. We got to recognize that they're a child, right? But my point of being that is some of them, or a lot of them, they go onto their mommy and daddy's phone, log in through their YouTube, log in, and they go surf the YouTube and they get some YouTubing in through mama's account. So when they're on here, it's under their mama's names. So I wonder how that ban, which I don't think it could ever stop it truly. Verification processes. All part of the plan to turn the Western world into third world. Yes, much easier and safer bet controlling. Yes, when people are ignorant, then it's easier, right? Like North Korea. Take away the internet and tell them what you want them to know, and there you go. I do think that there was ways, because I imagine their goal, Craig, and I don't know, but I'm imagining Australia's goal was to keep children from becoming, what word am I looking for? Bait, food, keeping their exposure to adult material reduced, down, right? Bullying, predators, all of those things. I'm sure that was their intent in this. Hey, we got to do a better job of protecting children from being kidnapped, molested, bullied online, or having them see things and exposed to bad things. Somewhere that was probably the original good intention, and maybe it didn't come out so well in the wash. But I got to imagine that there could have been better ways to do that. Maybe it would have cost money, or would have put the liability on the internet providers or Facebook or YouTube or others, versus the government saying, no, we don't want to hurt the people that make all the money, or we don't want the people that make all the money to be held accountable, so we're just going to ban everybody. So I got a feeling there's definitely a way or ways that they could have done much better. I really do. I could be wrong. I think, like here in America, parents are starting to be held responsible, Craig. I don't know if you guys know this in the background. A lot of you guys in the background hanging out. In America, we're starting, and I don't know if they do this in other parts of the world, we're just starting it. We are now just starting to hold parents accountable for the action of their minor children. Examples being that those kids that beat up that pregnant lady that has the sickle cell disease in Chicago, now mommy's going to be prosecuted also. Some other cases like that. When the kids don't show up for school, mommy and daddy's going to be charged for neglect. There's my good friend, My Views, Your World. How are you? Good evening. What, are you back in the Philippines, my friend? I dropped the link if you want to come up and visit. Tell me your stories. Everybody said load each other, waste of time and money. eSafety started with 38 employees. Now it's over, holy shit and butt farts. Over 1,000 to run it. Stupidity at its finest. Add to the debt in 2 minutes. Yes, yeah. So maybe you need to get Elon Musk to come to Australia and fix it for you. He'll come down there and he'll get him a software program and he'll get that sucker fired up, and you won't need any employees, and AI can do it all. Yep, still in the Philippines. Back in the Philippines. That's nice. Over in Angeles City. My views, you know, Craig. Craig's one of our good time, long followers. He's got a YouTube channel himself. So, great guy. Maybe I'll join next time. I'm still waking up in the morning. You want me to sing to you? Would that help you wake up in the morning? So, maybe that would. So, I think that's what government does best. They bloat. It's you know how they keep their jobs and do their jobs. Bloat, bloat, bloat. But I'm still convinced that I should have started a daycare center in Minnesota. I could be rich by now. Dang it. Another opportunity pissed away by the leader of the pack. Could have got my own daycare center. Didn't even need children or a playground or anything. I could have put just a sign on the door saying, "Wubba," and I would have got children. My views, AJ, are you having fun back in the Philippines? How long have you been back? And getting adjusted to being back in the Philippines. Yeah, we got to try to go over to the Philippines in 2027. We got to take care of some business. And then, but I don't want to spend a month in the Philippines again. So when we go over, I think we're only going to do a couple of weeks, and then we're going to bounce and maybe go to Singapore, Hong Kong, Singapore or Hong Kong or both. Or we may take the big leap and go to Craig's house in Australia. But that's the only problem. I'm white, so I wouldn't have been able to get that daycare. I didn't qualify. You know, and I can spell. Well, I take that back. Yeah. Yes, I am white. The real question is, and I was talking to a friend of mine who's from Minnesota today, and he doesn't like me talking shit about Minnesota, but hey, it is what it is. That how does Omar go from a bank account of like $50,000 and then within 6 years she's worth $30 million? How in the hell does that happen? And she only makes $175,000 a year. How in the living hell does that happen? I need that job, right? You know, the Somalis here in America are getting made fun of unbelievably. It's all over here. I mean, they're talking about how, you know, that one guy came out and said somebody broke into his daycare center and stole his records of the children being there, you know, and he's wearing $2,000 glasses and a brand new New York baseball hat because the PR people wanted him to look like he's more American by wearing a baseball cap, a New York baseball cap. But they should have just gave him an old one. They should have rubbed it in the dirt, roughed it up, then put it on his head. They gave him a brand new one that didn't fit his head. Spale, yeah, that's right, you know. That was convenient. Yes. Yeah. Documents missing. The only thing in the whole place missing. No electronics. There wasn't any. Well, there really wasn't anything in there, right? But, you know, the documents to prove that they weren't scamming. And then that other poor little Somalian lady who's up there talking about how horrible things are, that the federal government's going to take the funding away. Even though I know fraud is bad, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, shit. And then we had another Somali lady who threatened Elon Musk, you know, live on TV. He's going to be dead. You know, I mean, what the hell did Elon Musk have to do with it? He didn't have any children. He's got like 12 children, but he can afford his own daycare. Maybe they're pissed off because he was part of Doge. And this is part of Doge, actually. Some of this is part of what Doge was doing. Convenient document stealing. And then that YouTuber who become famous now for his blowing the whistle. Can't remember his name, gosh dang it. But he's famous now, and now they're saying, well, he just came at the wrong time. Time of the day, the children just didn't happen to be there. Yes, the rumors are, and I hate to say this, no, I don't. Look, here's what I believe. I believe good old Governor Waltz, whatever his name is, Tampon Tim, whatever you want to call him, he knew every bit of this. This is a rigged system from the top down. He was getting kickbacks. Everybody below him was getting kickbacks. I think they truly thought stealing from us, the taxpayers of America, from the federal government was okay, him included. I think when all of this shakes out, we'll find more and more of that. I think it was a system in place to protect each other. And I was seeing that one thing where how they were talking about how they were getting it out of the country, a lot of the money out of the country, and how there was reports through TSA where suitcases of cash was being flown out. So all you got to do is declare it. You don't got to bring it back. You just declare that you're taking $1.5 million with you to Somalia or to Dubai, because a lot of it apparently went through Dubai, I guess, or some other countries, and then to Somalia or to Iran, wherever it was going. So I think when it's all to be said, I know their governor has decided not to run for election again. The lieutenant governor, as of today, was in serious hot water for taking. He got caught on an audio taking money from illegals or people who were criminals of the Somali community. So I think as they dig deeper, shit's gonna hit the fan. Fraud doesn't choose a community chooses to commit fraud. Well, you're right. And the governor got his kickback. And I really believe this. I think the governor was 100% involved. Now, he may have been involved like, oh, well, don't tell me about it. By the way, put my cash over here, but I don't need to know anything else. But put my cash over here. So that's what I think. I think there's a good component of that. There's a lot of memes going on or funny little things going on here about the Somalians and how, AI is kind of funny, where they had, somebody will come up to a Somali refugee or whoever, whatever, and say, why did you commit fraud? He's like, well, that's what we do in our country. That's our nature. That's part of our culture is to steal. Like, oh my God, you people. So yes, I think California's getting ready to bust open with some bad things too. I think that remember those wildfires a few years ago? There's some stuff coming out about a land grab is why the government in California won't let people rebuild because they put so many roadblocks in place because friends of friends of friends want to buy all of that land and they want to buy it cheap. So I think you're going to find some, even California. I don't know what the hell is going on in New York, with their new mayor, what he's going to do. I'm just glad I don't live in New York City. But yeah. But Craig in Australia is having his own drama with them banning kids from using the social media. Now, Craig, if you're still there, can the kids? So are they saying the kids can't have social media accounts? Are they saying that kids can't do social media at all? And does that mean children of that age can't go on the internet? Maybe I'll try to Google that. Because what do you do for school? Feel the same way about healthcare subsidies? Yes, the healthcare companies donate to come. You can't, absolutely. There's no question. Doesn't mean campaigns are taxpayer funded. Yeah. No, campaigns are. I mean, you're right. Nobody look, and I'm just as guilty. And maybe I'm cynical. I don't believe anybody does anything without a reason. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm that type of shitty person. But I'm going to do things for a reason. You're going to get a reward out of whatever it is you do. So today I was talking to a friend of mine who his doctor, and I didn't bust his bubble because he's old, so I didn't bust his bubble. But his doctor wanted him to have this home blood pressure machine that every time he does it, it records it automatically. It's real simple to use. And then it sends a thing to his phone, one of those. And he's all excited because his doctor recommended it. The medical device company called him and said, hey, your doctor recommended, would you like to have one of these? And he's old. I mean, really old, like 80, 90 years old. So he's really excited about, hey, look at me. I got this modern technology. And they think I should have it because of my health. And I hated to burst his bubble and tell him, the reason your doctor recommended it is because your doctor is getting a kickback from the manufacturer of the blood pressure machine. So a representative came to your doctor and said, look at this great device we have. Help us sell these and we'll give you some money. Social media sites and education excluded from the ban. Are you Somalian now, Craig? I'm trying to think because I look at that going, I don't know how that's really going to work because who's going to decide what's educational and what's not? What if I think the kid's going to YouTube and looking at videos, if I'm teaching history and I want to go to videos, if I know I'm teaching stuff, something about Philippines, and I want the kids to go watch YouTube videos from YouTube subscriber, people like us, Craig, right? Or want them to go watch the Dancing Filipinos so they understand. Is that educational? What is it, So who's going to be the judge, the jury of that? Australia's new internet law for kids went in effect December the 10th in 2025. Protecting children's mental health and safeguarding them from harmful content. The law restricts access to major social media platforms for users under 16, including TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Threads, and Reddit. Wow. All right. Pole dance in Philippines is an art. Now, to understand the history of the Philippines, you need to understand about Walking Street or Red Street, whatever they're calling it these days. That's the point. So broad, everything is an opinion. Right. So who's going to be the judge? Once again, is it going to be a case-by-case thing, which is going to cost the taxpayers billions in legal fees and drama? Ken is in the house. I'm only 39 minutes late. Well, as long as you're not 40 minutes late. The rule is you can't be 40 minutes late, Craig. Sorry, Ken. So, Ken, you made it right under the wire, my friend. Everybody say hello to Ken. So, you know what I mean, Craig? So, who's going to be the decider of that? What crazy religious group is going to file lawsuits because some teacher wanted the kids to study something and there was a great video on YouTube about it, a historical documentary or reenactment about World War II in the Philippines or some bullshit. But yet, maybe they showed some blood. Well, they showed a wounded Filipina or somebody with their head cut off. I don't know. But what crazy religious group is going to go, no? So now we're going to sue that school for letting them show, maybe it's me. Maybe they come and look at me and they want to sue me. My view says, hello, Ken. Craig says, howdy, Ken. Good to see you. So, you know what I mean? It's just kind of one of those things where, like, holy shit and butt farts. It'd be a good time to be a lawyer in Australia. If you can get yourself into that wiggle room and get these crazy people who want to challenge, who want to fight, who want to say, no, that guy wearing a hat is racist or sexist or horrible for children. Let's sue YouTube. Be a great time to be a lawyer, I guess. Be a busy time. Ken, I did drop the link there. If anybody wants to come up and join me in my panel. Oh, my dryer's done. But, it's just interesting. And I don't know if they could get away with that in the United States. One, I think they would just hack. And that's what I mean. Aren't the kids smarter than we are? Won't the kids just go, okay, I'll just hack around it? Do we really think 12-year-old boys don't know how to work the computer system than any government employee? A 12-year-old girl, they're smarter than we are. So how are they going to truly execute this? What are they going to do? Now I notice in America, we've done that a tiny bit. Solves nothing, adds to the problem. Everyone is, I agree. It doesn't solve the problem. It makes it worse. Because one big thing we all know is when you tell children and adults like me, you can't do something, I'm going to go do it. Right? You tell me I can't drink Coke, by God, I'm going to go drink Coke. If you tell me I can't wear hats, by God, I'm going to wear 12 hats at once. So what do you think the kids are going to do? Kids are smart with less common. Yeah, they don't need any common sense. AJ, my views, they don't need any. They don't need any common sense. Oh my God! But they're smarter than we are. They'll just get around the system. It's just funny. It's sad, but it's funny. And how are they going to prosecute somebody? So what are they going to do? Are they going to, if a 12-year-old boy winds up having a fake Facebook account where he's on there doing Facebook, and they find out, is it going to be like the FBI in America? Are they going to come and get him and arrest him and take him to juvenile jail for having a Facebook account? USA threatening a lawsuit against Aussie government for freedom of speech. 3 platforms. I didn't know that, but I believe that. I can see these companies doing that. I don't know if our government's doing it, and maybe they are. But I could definitely see Elon Musk, who has bukus of money and has the X platform. Hey, this sounds great. Let's challenge this in court. I could see it. YouTuber, Facebook, Zuckerberg, collectively, Craig, and I'm not trying to be mean, but collectively, they all may have more money than the Australian government have. I don't know what kind of financial shape the Australian government is in. But between the YouTuber and the Facebooker and the X and the Reddit people, all these people that owns these, Elon and his cronies, there's probably more money there than what we have in the United States or Australia. So that will be interesting to see what happens. I know, isn't Europe has had some issues with that themselves and has gotten in some hot waters and lost some lawsuits. And you better hope, Donald doesn't sue you. He likes to sue. He wins. So maybe Donald will get involved and sues Australia too. But Donald likes Australia, so he probably won't. He's going to let the billionaires besides him take that on. But I mean, how can you enforce something like that? How can you do it? And way more debt. Yeah, yeah. Same here in America. Jesus Christ. The only thing I would say, whether you like Trump or not, I am so happy that food prices are down. I am so happy gas prices are down. You know, I don't know what else is. Interest rates are supposed to be headed down. So I want to buy another house this year. I really like to, but I need the interest rates to be much better. So whether you like the guy or not, a lot of us poor people think things are, a lot of us non-purple haired, confused about our sexuality Democrats are enjoying the way things are headed. So, but it's crazy. But I know, I was going to say here in America, I know states like my state had a big campaign about this on the news. Because we have a Republican governor who was President Trump's first press secretary. Really good governor. She's kicking ass. She's mean. She's kicking China out of the state of Arkansas. I mean, she's mean. You fuck with her, she's going to smack you. So I like her for that. Our budget's better. Everything's better in the state of Arkansas, except for the state of Arkansas. But she had a big campaign where she's made it to where, and I don't like this. Now, I'm not into porn websites, but they've made it in Arkansas and a few other states to where to be able to see porn websites, you have to register through this verification app. And I don't know exactly how how you could do it technologically. I don't get how they can stop you from doing it, but I guess they do. And you have to register to prove that you're over the age of 18, I guess. And supposedly it's to prevent children from seeing that. He likes Aussie because we control 60% of the world with geo. I don't know what that last word is, Craig. Well, he likes Australia because, we all like Australia, to be honest. And Australia's a lot like us, in a sense. America's never not liked Australia. That's what, and I mean that sincerely. If you ask around in the world, in America, nobody hates Australia. Now, they think that Vegemite shit is kind of weird, and they think your kangaroos are scary as hell. But Americans like Australia. We don't, it's a go-to country. We like it. I like the road trains. I've watched a bunch of documentaries and TV shows about the road trains in Australia. Freaking awesome. Dangerous, scary as all hell, but freaking awesome. So America has a really good feel for Americans in Australia. I think they have a positive one towards the Philippines too. Now they think the Philippines is a third world country and the women are users, but they still think the Philippines is not a bad country. Mexico, I don't know. I think most people, it's probably half and half. Do I hate Mexico? No, I've been there. Do I dream about going there again? No. Do I think there's a lot of great people there? Yes, I think there's a lot of ass. So Mexico's kind of like, we used to like Venezuela's. We really did, I don't know if we like Colombia or not. I think we like the women from Colombia, like Dennis. But Marty and Jamie, good to see you. How are you tonight? Everybody say hello to Marty and Jamie. What's going on in your world? Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. If I haven't said that, please give me some thumbs ups. And you're welcome to join us on the panel if you're brave enough. So I don't know. I would like to visit Colombia. I'm not into drugs, but I'd still like to go there. Marty says, I am doing good. Outstanding. Marty, what's going on here? We're talking about all kinds of good things. What do you think about anything? We love to have people's opinions about things. I really do. I like people's opinions because it helps me formulate my own bullshit opinions. So he likes it because we cover 69% of the world's coverage with satellites. Okay. Supply the I-5 with lifetime control of information. Nice. Covering Middle East. There you go. Well, I would suck up to you. We need your satellites, all right? We don't need your Vegemite, but we need your damn satellites. Dennis is in the house. Everybody said hello to Dennis. Good to see you, my friend. Colombia is amazing. We're in a tiff with Colombia. I don't know if it's a serious tiff or a little tiff. What's going on now that we kidnapped or arrested or did whatever we did to Venezuelans, which I don't care, what people think about that. I don't really care. I think Colombia is scared now that we're going to do the same thing to him, her, whoever. I think Cuba is worried, So 99% of the people there don't do drugs or involved. I agree. I don't know, but I would agree with you. I watched a thing on YouTube today about Colombia and about the different geographical populations. Very fascinating, by the way. I do think that everyday Americans, if you walked up to an American in the street and said, hey, what's the first thing that comes to your mind about Colombia? Is going to be drugs. Now, I wonder if you walk up to somebody in Colombia and say, what's the first thing you think about America? What would they say? They do not like their leader. Okay, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but I just caught a smidgen where I guess their leader is telling Trump, don't try what you did with Venezuelans on me. Well, famous last words, that's what the Venezuela's guy said. Come and get me if you think you can. Well, somebody came and got him and arrested him. Geographical location, your satellite. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Positioning of, is that what you kind of mean? All right. Are you guys still in Australia having problems with China? I will say that I think what happened with going into Venezuela's probably put a very nervous feather up China's butt, because I guess he was meeting with the Chinese delegate literally an hour, 2 hours before he was arrested. So you got to know they went home scratching their head going, well, what in the hell was that? Ken thinks, I think the percentage of Americans is we're all rich and well off. Okay, so Ken thinks they would probably look at it and go, like the Filipino women do. Woohoo, they're all rich, living on golden streets. Dennis has been to Colombia a lot. So Dennis, what do you think? Musk has given all Venezuelan people free internet. That's great. And he can afford to do it. And he could just do it to the whole damn world and be done with it. And he should. He's got enough money. His Starlink company doesn't need to make any more money unless he's going to give me that damn $5 million he owes me. Full access before very controlled. Yeah. And I do think, it's like North Korea. I do think if they had access, which I know they don't, that regime would fall. Ken says, you nailed it on the Filipino women. Yes. Trust me, I know. I live with one. So China's love it. It's a distraction. Yeah, well, it is. And you guys in Australia need to be worried about that. But apparently it is a distraction. But it is making the news here and now. So today I was watching some of it about Taiwan and China. So, and Trump will be addressing it shortly, I think, in the next day or two. So I watched something today on the news where they were starting to talk about that again, because the Minnesota stuff is getting old, because we all know that they're all corrupt, nasty people. The We did have a bad thing that happened, today, which is going to be a distraction from the immigration stuff for a few days. And some woman in Minneapolis was shot in the head by an ICE agent. There's really no details about it, except for the Democrats are saying, see, we told you. And they want the government ICE out of Minneapolis. But that's where the Somalians live. So what they got to be careful about is fine. We'll take, the government will take the ICE agents out of Minneapolis. We'll just put the National Guard there. So they may want to rethink their bitching and moaning. So, because it could be worse, all federal funding could be cut off. You could be left to stand on your own. And then what are you going to do? Because a lot of people don't realize how much federal funding states and big cities get and how much they rely on federal dollars. But I agree, it's a big distraction. But we, hopefully, America, and I think Australia will too, would be more than happy to defend Taiwan. As an American citizen, if China started thumping Taiwan, I would not have a problem with the United States going to their defense militarily. I just would not. I would vote for it and say, yes, you should defend that sovereign nation. Yes, only 2 weeks late. I've been live practice events I know it's been going on, but it's 2 weeks late. But hey, better late than never, And I hate to say this about Americans. I think most Americans, because Americans are getting stupider. You ever watch those videos where people are asking questions on the streets and they're like, well, what year was the War of 1812 fought in? And they don't know the answer. How many states are there in the United States? What? Yeah, people are dumb in America. So I think if it came down to it, most people would not know where the hell Taiwan was or whether it was a country. They would probably think it's a toy manufacturing company. So, but for the knowledgeable people, they would stand and say, we need to help out. But I mean it. I think our people are getting dumb as shit here in America. They just don't seem to know anything. Anything. It's like, I love, and it's kind of a trick question, but I love the question. What country is New Mexico in? What's in Mexico? Mexico. No. A little bit of trick question for dumb people, but, Taiwan is a small, there you go. Small island off of California. That's it. So, 7. I really think our educational system is, look, we can bitch about the educational system, which I will, because I like to do it. We're teaching children, hey, yeah, you can go and have your private parts cut off and pretend that you're something that you're not, but you can't add 2 plus 2. You can't spell frog. But hey, it's okay if you want to have your private parts cut off. What the hell is the American education system doing? We are the most effed up freaking education system in the world. Miss Avocado's in the house. Thinking of fine, outstanding young people. Miss Avocado is in the house. Good to see you. She says, I love those videos. And it's just is always correct. Yeah, I know. Correct. Woohoo! They're like, yay, I got it right. You're dumb as an asswipe, Dumb as a toilet paper. Everybody said hello to Miss Avocado, who's happily pregnant at home, resting, I'm sure. She's saying hello to everybody. That's right. That's Miss AB to you, Dennis. Craig says, hello, Jamie. Good to see you. It's been a while. How are you? We're doing great in Australia. Family is outstanding. Hiya, Craig. So I feel bad though. I'm like, are people really that damn stupid? Are they really that, or is it a setup? Because I'm like, can people be that stupid? You know? Now, I understand that there's a little bit of a harder question about how many years can a president serve for, and the answer is 11. So I get that's a difficult question because most people think 8. But if you're a vice president and the president kills over, gets impeached, blah, blah, you get the 3 years, you can run 2 times. That was a little bit of a tricky question. But what is 2 plus 2? Is not. What colors are on the American flag? Huh? Those are not difficult questions. You know, how many letters are in the word dog? Oh my God. What does a dog say? Bark, bark, bark. What does a cat say? You know, these are not hard questions. So those are quite funny to me, but I hope it's not a true representative of our culture and society. I'm feeling bad to be an American at the moment. But you got to enjoy it. You got to like it. Remember, I did put a little link in there if anybody's brave enough to join me on the panel. If not, I understand. But I don't know, man. Okay, we got a bunch of people in here. So let me tell you my story from today. You guys ready for story time? Because you know you got to be a story. So I went to the doctor today. You know, we went to the pain doctor because I've had back issues all my life. Because I'm fat and I'm old and I did stupid shit. Well, I got one of those holes in your spine that's kind of crustifying and it's crushing the nerve, blah, blah, blah. So I had to go to a pain doctor and they're like, well, here's what we can do. We can give you Novocaine in the back, a whole bunch. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that bullshit. What does a pussy say? It depends on which country it's from. I'm going to pick on the Philippines, Craig, because I know Dennis and Ken's in here and a few others. If they're from the Philippines, it says, how much is in the wallet? You know, what's in your wallet? That's the tagline for credit cards in America. What's in your wallet? But so they're like, well, you know, we can give you these drugs, these shots, and I've had those before, and I think they're worthless. I don't think they work. Or we can do surgery and drill it out and make the hole bigger. And I said, yeah, you're not doing that either. Like, well, there's also psychological counseling. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I looked at this doctor and I said, what in the God's hell are you talking about psychological counseling? And he's like, well, some people benefit. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that either. Next. It's like, well, you're already on drugs. I'm like, yes. Thank you for acknowledging that. Now, this is at a Catholic, Mercy, this is a Catholic place. So they won't recommend marijuana. They won't. They're very conservative. So they still think marijuana is the evil drug of the world. So they don't recommend that. He doesn't. So, and I asked him about the radio frequency nerve killing thing that they do. It's like, oh yeah, we do that too. And he kept trying to sell me on other shit. And I said, no, look, it just pissed me off. Divorce stops the pain. Or divorce is the pain. Well, mine does not. A lot of people feel that way, Craig. I've talked to a lot of guys, and a lot of guys, you know, divorce is not that bad. But so we agreed to do the radio frequency. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to put together a presentation on it, and we'll do a video about it. So, but anyway, that's there. Went to the doctor. I actually weighed really well. I need to weigh myself because I was shocked. Either their scale is broken or I lost a few more pounds. So, you know, I'm hoping that their scale is accurate, that I actually lost about 5, because I was wearing clothes and a wallet and keys and my cell phone when I weighed, and I weighed less than what I do when I weigh here. So I'm like, woohoo, not smoking butt farts. I've lost weight. He says, what language do Americans speak? Said the British English. Where is Big Ben? France. I know. People don't know their. What state is Washington, D.C. in? Now, maybe that's a trick question because we do have 50 states and D.C. is not a state. It's not at all. So maybe that's a trick question for some of these dumb people. What state is D.C. in? It's not. It's not interstate. But, I don't know. But anyway, I digress because I run out the mouth a lot. So I'm at the doctor's office, and the nurse, who's nice enough, but Lorelai's with me, by the way. So, I usually cause hell and cause trouble when she's not there. When she's there, I got to behave a little bit because she gets mad at me. But she's there, we're there, and the lady nurse says, excuse me, sir, but you look famous. And I told her, so I am. And she's like, no, really, you look like an actor. I said, I am famous. She's like, no, really, you look like, and I'm like, bitch, I am famous. What the hell? She's like, no. You look like somebody famous. And Lorelai's laughing, going, ooh, and a little jealous because, somebody's, recognizing my beauty and handsomeness and my acting skills. And Craig is dropping his link or dropping a short. Go see that. If you're blue, you're welcome to drop anything you like to drop as long as it's not your pants. So, and Lorelai gets a little jealous when I get recognized and she doesn't. But that's okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm going like, no. I'm thinking, damn it, bitch. Do you not hear the words coming out of my mouth? I am famous. And finally, she's like, no. And Lorelai says, oh, it's that Brian guy. I'm like, oh, Brian Dennehy. Brian Dennehy. He's dead, by the way. He died a few years ago. And she's like, yes. And they Googled it. And they're like, yes, that's who you look like. And I'm like, no, he looks like me. No, he looks like me. I don't look like him. He looks like me. She's like, oh, and she's all excited. She's telling everybody in the office. She's making notes. She's like, oh, I got to go home and tell my husband. And I'm sitting there thinking, bitch, I'm the famous one. I have a YouTube channel, bitch. So how can I become famous? And this is not the first time. This happens more than you can ever imagine in my life. People go, oh, but nobody says, hey, that is you. You're such a good actor. They go, oh, I get accused of looking like him the last 15 years. And it's not fair. Well, I did. I offered an autograph. Better remove him. Good actor. It was a good actor. I really liked him. He was a good guy. Except for that weird Jody show where he was a dad or something. But 2 times lines running. 2-time lines running. Yes, come on. Why can't you just acknowledge that? Why can't I just be famous on my own? Why do I got to look like somebody else? So when does it become the point in time where I'm famous enough that Brian Dennehy looks like me? Bitch. Man, I'm just telling you. I don't understand it. But Lorelai got a kick out of it. And then when we were leaving, and we agreed to do the radio frequency nerve ablation crapping thing, and we got to get proof to the insurance company. Probably cost me $10 million, to do it, even with insurance. Or it'd probably be $10,000. Here's what's going to happen. The insurance company is going to wind up paying $10 million. And if I walked in and paid cash, it'd probably cost me $100. So that's how it works in America. So we're getting ready to leave, and the girl comes running back in the office again, acknowledging the Brian Dennehy connection. I'm so upset. I think she hurt my feelings. What would you guys do? Kind of reminds me of that movie that came out a few years back, Almost Famous. Well, I'm famous, I've been on TV, giving interviews, taught all over the damn Region 6. I've stood in crowds of 5,000 people. I'm famous. You know, oh God, no, Craig. That'd give you 2 weeks of fame. Yes. Yeah, I don't have any of those. I don't have the ability to do that. I would do a poisoning. That's horrible of me to say. I would just poison you. No, but well, in today's world, you don't even get 2 weeks out of it because now even the media, even the crazy media, they won't put your picture on TV anymore, and they won't use your name anymore. They just use here the shooter, the suspect. So they don't put your face out there anymore because they don't want to pump them up and give them any recognition, which is outstanding. And that's why I do it. Like the guy that did Charlie Kirk, I've never mentioned his name, and I'm not going to because that's pretty crappy. We don't want to give them power. But come on, I wear tropical shirts and a hat. The hell's wrong with me? Did I give her an autograph? Well, technically I did because I signed a bunch of documents so they could stick my damn needle in my back. So I guess technically, should have charged her for that, right? Not very nice. Not very nice. I don't know. Maybe that's Ken. Maybe that's why I'm the number one YouTuber on the whole entire world. I look like Brian Dennehy. But he was a good actor. A couple of really good movies was one where he's in Skidmore, Missouri, where he's the bully of Skidmore, Missouri. Great movie if I haven't seen it. I can't remember the title. But he plays the role of a community bully who was shot and killed by the community because he bullied them so much. Really good movie. Really good one. But do we need fame, Craig? I mean, come on. Why can't we just be famous for who we are? Do you want to be famous? I know Dennis would like to be famous, but, he's already famous for arm candy. He's our arm candy man. We got, can I tell you another interesting story? I got to figure out how to say it because I know we have a lot of, I don't want to call them spies, but we have a lot of jealous people that watch our stuff, which is great because I need the views. I don't care about the subscriber numbers. I just want people to watch my shit because that's the only thing YouTube cares about. How many views do you get? If you got 100,000 subscribers and you get no views, and nobody cares. If you got one subscriber and you get 25 million views, well, YouTube cares. Meant as a joke now, no social media trusts the most. Ah, yes. Lots of ingrates. That's where I was going, Dennis. How did you know that? Well, I was going to mention Dennis a tiny bit because we have somebody who's jealous, and I'm trying not to say too much, but apparently somebody who's jealous of all of you, believe it or not, all of the followers we have on the internet, all the YouTubing we do, all the kind things that people do for us, all the product sponsorships we have, which we have a lot of that you guys don't know about because I don't care. I get a lot of companies that send me shit and want me to review their products. I don't put them on the internet because I don't really care. And they don't want it on the internet. They truly just want to know, what in the hell do you think of my product? I do a review. If I like their product, I keep it. When I do the review, and if I don't want to keep it, I sell their shit. Just the way it is. For a month. So apparently, people want to be famous like us. And somebody has been asking a lot about Dennis because they're hoping their TikTok is not going well, or their other social media platforms maybe are struggling. And so now they're looking in to get into the world of YouTube because we are so successful. We get apparently a lot of money, a lot of sponsors. And they have fingered Dennis, as somebody they would like to woo, they want to woohoo Dennis is what they want to do. So kind of funny, kind of enjoyable, kind of entertaining. I think it's fun and entertaining. Jealousy in the Filipino community is It's so prevalent. Every breath I breathe jealousy. So Dennis, you know what I'm talking about, man. So don't be surprised if they come knocking on your door. We will not share information, Dennis, but don't be surprised if they backtrack your channel and try to get audio that way. I don't know, but so we do have people that take advantage of my wife. To be honest, they only like my wife because they think we have money, or I don't know why they like us, or they don't. Maybe I know they don't like us, but they like to use us, which is okay. As long as I'm getting something out of it, I don't care if you use me or not. I'm okay with that. I'm a cheap whore. I don't care. But so a little bit of that going on, which I think is quite funny. But whatever, whatever ticks your boat. Dennis, what are we going to do? We're going to have a whole bunch of people here on Saturday. By the way, at 5 o'clock, we're live streaming live. We're going to be doing the shower party where there's going to be 20 to 30 Filipinas taking a shower in my house in the living room. So, or attending a shower, not taking a shower. They're going to be attending a baby shower. So I tried really hard to find a way to create a picture, a thumbnail for the live stream set up for Saturday at 5 of a bunch of beautiful Filipinas taking a shower, but the software program I have won't let me they wouldn't accept it because of the word in the shower. I had to put baby shower, then they came up with things. But they don't do nudity or anything in the AI program that I have. So they thought I was asking for a bunch of nude girls in the shower. Delusional, inept, cannot run from their insecurity. It is insecurities, Craig. Jealousy, insecurities, failures of their own. And as we all know, it's not your fault, Craig, or my fault, or Dennis's fault, or Miss Avocado's fault, or even Ken's fault. A lot of times it's Ken's fault, but I don't know where Pat is. I usually blame things on Pat, but the crab mentality, as we all know it, is horrible, and it's horrible in our community. I can tell you an example. There's a couple that have a lot of money, and I've discussed these people before, lots of money. Well, he has money. He's the American. She, the Filipina, just has what the husband gives her to live on, and she benefits greatly from this man's, net worth of around 50 to 60 million or more. So she benefits greatly. She flaunts it. She brags it. She uses it as a bully pulpit to make other Filipinos. And some of these Filipinas that I'm referencing are groveling over, and this lady plays these people like a fiddle. She knows that, and I've known her for 20 years. I know what she does. She cycles through the grovelers. So the bootlickers, she's over here. She thinks she's the richest one in our region, right? Now her husband may be, but she's not. But all of these others are kissing her boots, hoping to get crumbs from her. Seen it for the last 20 years. And then they just cycle through. They will eventually get tired of kissing her boots and not getting anything because they think they're going to get something. And then they go away. Seen it for years. Well, here's something funny. Just something funny. Ready? The other day, they just spent $253,000 on a brand new Maybach. Now, he doesn't drive because he's in his late 80s and sickly. She can't drive because she's a Filipina and she's in her 60s. And so or she doesn't drive very much. She has another car that she does drive a little bit. But she's always trying to use these other Filipinas that are kissing her boots to give her a ride to all the parties where she can eat all the food she wants to eat, right? Is what her game is. I know what the game is. I get it. Which is just kind of funny. But these people don't drive. Somebody usually takes them somewhere, and they just spend $250,000 on a car. It's a beautiful car. $250,000 on a car that's going to sit in the garage 90% of the time. I bet you in a year's time, it won't have 1,000 miles on it. Now, their assistant, who I know personally, will drive it some, which he's tickled to death. He's like, holy shit and butt farts. I'm going to get to drive a $250,000 car when I take them to go to the bank or to the 7-Eleven to get a Coke. They don't go many places. So he's going to drive her car, the new Maybach. So he's cool about it because, man, who wouldn't want to drive it, right? But it's all over now. She had to post it on Facebook telling everybody, look at me, how great I am. And yes, remember to continue to lick my boots because now I have this great car. And if you're good to me, if you lick my boots enough, you might get to sit in my car and I can have my driver take us somewhere, where you guys need to lick my boots. Oh my God, my neck hurts from all the drama. Always take the easiest rate for a big score, Filipino way, all cards in. Exactly. I feel bad because, like I've said, I've known this lady forever. She's not giving them anything. She's just as bad as they are. When the people around her that are richer than her, and there's a shitload of them where we live, that she's a small fish to. Now, her husband may be a big fish in my world, but in his world, he's just an average to little fish. The Waltons and the J.B. Hunts and the Tysons are way above this guy. He's a good guy. I like him. He's a good guy. Down there, he created a business from scratch many thousands of years ago, made his money the old-fashioned way by kissing ass to the politicians. Him and Bill Clinton were buddies. He may have been on Epstein's Island. Hell, I don't know. Because him and Clinton were buddies. Because you got to remember, Clinton was our governor, and they grew up about the same time here in Arkansas. Pictures of him and Clinton hanging out drinking in his house. Been there, seen it, done it, right? So we have so many other filthy rich people above these people. What's funny is watching the Filipinas kissing her boots, but it's funny to watch her try to kiss the Waltons' boots because the Waltons are stepping all over them because they just got billions of dollars, right? So, and that's one thing I taught my wife when she came to America 22,000 years ago was, look, here's what's going to happen in my part of the world. I don't know about the rest of the world, but here's what happens here. So you're not going to become a bootlicker. You're not chasing these people. Either they like it or they don't. We don't let them use you and don't use them. We pay our own way. We go our own way. We do our own thing. And we don't care what others do. But what's funny is some of these young ladies, Lorelai apparently has something. Oh, there she is up there. Has something that they want from her. One, now that she has Dennis, thanks to Dennis. Not saying that Dennis paid for it, but, thanks to Dennis and all you other people out there. Lorelai now has one of those LV purses, those King Louis purses. And I know Dennis, why I say Dennis, because I know Dennis knows a lot about those. Because there's been a lot of honeys, a little arm candies, right? So she has one of those now. And we have a decent house. It's not very nice. To me, it's an average house, below average. But we have a lot of room and space. And what we've come to find out is Lorelai's husband, who's probably the greatest human in the world, Lorelai, her husband, apparently he's way better than all the other husbands because he's articulate, intelligent, and handsome. But he doesn't have a real problem with his wife having little parties at the house. So apparently her husband is far above the other husbands. And he's not a drunk. I hate to say it for all of you locals that are listening. Some of you guys are drunks and you need to quit. Or just stay drunk, whatever. I don't care. And there's a lot of good guys out there too, but they're not like me. They can't help it. It's okay. And they will lick as hard as they can. Grovel, grovel, grovel for crumbs. And it's sad. And I won't let my wife do that. My wife will not grovel for anything unless it's for me. So she can grovel for me, but we don't need somebody's crumbs, somebody's leftovers. We don't. We're not going to do that. If we come to your house, we're going to come to your house with respect. We're not going to steal the food and put it in our car before everybody's eaten yet at the party. We're not going to drink up all the booze. We're not going to try to hit on the other girls or guys. So there's a lot of things that we have character and principle. We may be assholes. We may be turds, but we do have scruples. We actually know, that DC is not a state. And we also know that boot licking tastes bad. Once you start licking boots, it's hard not to lick a boot, right? It's like the stray dog thing, string dog. And I tell people, and I told my wife this in the beginning, the stray dog thing. Dog can't even talk today. I'm not going to do this. Not going to do it. So, I don't know. I probably bitch and whine about our community too much. And I know a lot of them watch our shit and they probably hate me for it, which is okay, but I know the truth is the truth. And we can't change if we don't acknowledge the truth. If we can't acknowledge the bad, then we can't find the good people. That's where I'm going. Craig says, every event has a purpose, not for fun, all about positioning. Absolutely. I told my brother today, we're having the big baby shower. Now, Lorelai and I, are hosting the shower. We agreed to it because the people having the baby are really good friends of ours personally, right? Known them, trust them. They're truly good friends of ours, right? So we wanted to throw them the baby shower. Lorelai and I did. We're paying for the food. Now, I think they're going to bring some food too. But they got their decorations. We got a lot of decorations. So we're kind of covering, we try to cover the whole cost because this is a gift to these people. Now we're doing a baby shower, and I was talking to my brother about this today. So why bring this up? We're doing the baby shower. We're covering all the food, as I said, and drinks. So the visitors, there's going to be like an estimated 30 people here Saturday. And he's like, oh my God, my brother's like, holy crap, 30 people for a baby shower? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, wow, man, they must know a lot of people. I said, no, the food's free. The reason we have 30 people coming is because the food is free. And there's a lot of it. They all know when they come to our house, there's a shitload of food. So the purpose why we have so many people coming is because there's free food advertised on the party. It's your truth, not theirs, never shall do the meet. Correct. My truth, their truth will never meet. I agree. So we're having the party, we're buying the food, which is fine. We got it covered. I told them, I said, now, and they're also getting goodie bags. One thing that we're doing is we're giving out goodie bags to all the visitors. We do that, a thank you bag. And I think it's what it's called. So we're going to thank these people for coming to the baby shower. Because what they're supposed to do is to bring cash in an envelope or card, put it in a box so that the parents can take it and invest it into the college's 529 fund. So we're doing a 529 educational fund. It's like a 401k for education for children is what it is. So we've asked everybody, don't bring any gifts. If you want to bring anything, just bring some cash in an envelope. This is what we're doing with it. So we've told them all this. So I told my brother, though, he's like, man, that's a lot of people. I said, well, it is a lot of people. A lot of people. It is. And I'm going to be very tired. I'm going to live stream it and try to have fun with it. But the other kicker is we are not giving away the food until 8 o'clock. Lorelai is put in her, I got it right here. Let me read you the itinerary. You guys want to see the itinerary? Or I'll tell you the itinerary. I think my phone is warped, by the way. Let me see if I can find the itinerary. Some business, the carpet. We bought a new rug for the living room the other day, by the way. Not that you guys care. Where the hell is the itinerary? I know she sent it to me. She made me read it. It's not there. Is it in Messenger? Because I like the itinerary. Oh, shit. Maybe she deleted me. So here, damn. Why is she sending me pictures of her in a bikini? What the hell is all of this shit? I don't know. All right, I found the list. I don't have the pretty invitation. So here's what we're doing apparently, and she sent this to everybody as like an invitation as a program. So I think this is really good and it's going to help. Baby shower and after party honoring mom and dad's blah blah blah. Well, maybe this is the thing. Starts at 5 o'clock. Welcome, drink, mingle, eat food. 5:30. I don't know, some games all through the evening. And then she scrolls all the way down here to 8 o'clock is take home food and souvenirs. Heading home, please visit the station to pack up your take home meal and collect your souvenir party favor at 8 o'clock. If you want to stay for karaoke, then you can stay for a karaoke, I guess, afterwards. So she's actually put in her document this time that food removal will be at 8 o'clock. And you can collect your goodie bag because we have a nice little present or gift to everybody that attends, which is what part of what I do. I believe in that. If you're going to host a function, I think it's only proper to give a thank you gift for everybody who attends those functions. It's just the way it is. And now they're playing some games, and she bought some really cool door prizes for the game, the winners of the game. They're really cool. You're going to have to wait until Saturday to see them. But we have some really good door prizes for the 5 games that these girls are all going to play. Gotta run. We'll get the full watch in after my live stream is over. All right, Ken. Thank you. Appreciate you being here as always. I do. So they're going to do some games. Let me see if I can find. I need to find that stupid thing she sent me. How come my wife just can't make things easy for me? We bought a new rug. Let's see, some girl in a fancy outfit. I thought she sent me that. Oh, maybe it's in my name. I guess if my wife sent me something, it would probably be addressed to me, not her, right? Well, you would think. All right, how the hell do you get to that? That is me. I don't know. Is it under text messages? Maybe it's under here. And I don't know. See, here's the problem. 7th graders are smarter than I am. Here it is. I see it. Crap. How come it won't blow up? There it is. So they got some games they're playing, and you can win prizes or gift. I don't understand the games. Oh, that's not it. That's something else. That's not a game. Oh, maybe this is it. So here's what my wife has planned. At 6:45, they're going to play a game called Mommy or Daddy. Test your knowledge of the parents to be with your trivia game. I wonder what the questions are. I wonder if I could get the questions early and I could win. Why would you be a cheater? They're that all the games are? Dessert at 7. What? I don't understand. Pin the pacifier on the baby. What the hell are they going to do? The baby's not born yet. How are they going to pin a pacifier on the baby? That's not very nice. They're going to hurt the baby. Enjoy the buffet. mommy or daddy, dessert, what is grand prize ceremony. They're going to go for word scramble, emoji Pictionary, and baby predictions are announced. The parents have to speech. They're going to give a speech at 7:50. They got 10 minutes and that's it to talk. Man, they better sum it up in 10 minutes. If it was me, it'd take 10 hours. But we're giving them 10 minutes, the parents are, to say thank you. Take home food and souvenir bags, karaoke, and dancing. So you guys are all invited to come. Bring cash. Don't bring food and don't bring prizes. Just bring the cash. So that's what we're doing Saturday, everybody. Are you excited? I'm not excited in any way, shape, or form, but I will be there because I'm going to live stream it. They already, which is very disappointing, refused to name the baby after me. I don't understand. We're doing the baby shower. Why can they not name the baby after me? What would be so wrong with calling a girl David or Pack? I would take either or, but they absolutely just refused. And here's some trivia for you about the couple. And this is very interesting. A couple of really good people. We like them. But they were born on the same day, same month, in the same country. So they have the same birthday. They were born same year, same month, same day, same country. They're married now. They got married on the same day. Think about that one, smart people. 2 or 3 or 4 common things. Their mamas have the exact same first names. I can't remember what it is, but their mamas have the exact same first names. And here's another one. They both have nursing degrees. What do you think about that? They both have nursing degrees. That's a lot of coincidences, right? You know, maybe they're alien babies from the planet Philippine. You know, extraterrestrial babies. I don't know what happened in their world to be so synced up. Well, that's what's going on in their world. Can you believe that? To me, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. The coincidences. Now, their personalities are nothing alike. I will say that. Their personalities are nothing alike. Nothing alike. They're 2 totally different personalities. Maybe, now, they were born in the same country, but on different islands. Because I asked, well, you know, were you born on the same island? Maybe the same hospital? Because I was kind of thinking, well, maybe somehow one of the women had twins, you know, or something like that. But they don't look anything alike, you know. So maybe one of the women had babies and the other 2 babies, I don't know, maybe the doctors sold 2 babies. So maybe the mamas both had 2 babies. And the doctors, needing money, took 1 child from each woman and told them, no, you only had 1 baby, not 2 babies. And they sold the other 2 babies. And then these 2 babies there. I don't know what they did. But something kind of goofy and weird. So what do you guys think about it? So that's what we're doing Saturday. And that's our last big event for a while before Lorelai has her birthday party. So I'm very excited that this is our last big event for a while. I'm tired, as you can tell. So a little tired of the party scene. But we'll get this one over. It's going to be a blast. I'm cooking ribs, cake, all kinds of food. We're going to have, I'll show you all the food Saturday. So, and then of course they're going to do karaoke and dancing after the event. I'm happy for the couple, but I'm also happy for David that it's going to be over. I will be very tired. Other than that, besides the doctor wanting to cut my back open and pick my eyeballs out, you know, everything else is going well for us. My poor little dog was sick today and yesterday. I don't know what's wrong with her. My dog Lily's been sick. Not too worried because she's very active. Her stomach's just been messed up. So hopefully in a couple of days, and there's no green grass in my yard for her to eat because it's wintertime. So she can't go out there and eat green grass. Green grass to help her throw up. But she did throw up today out in the yard. I did see that. So that's a good thing, kind of, I guess. So hopefully I talked to a friend of mine the other day. I haven't talked to him in about a year and a half. Know him very well. He's a police officer. And we caught up on the phone a little bit. He told me that his dog, his 19-year-old dog, he died last year. My dog, Daisy, died last year. So we talked about that. His mother died last year, so he had a bad year. And I'm like, well, I can kind of relate. So I've been catching up with people. And that's what brings me to what I was going to tell you earlier that I got distracted on because I talked too damn much, is very simply this. If you want to have a really good 2026, you have to look back upon the year 2025 and see the things and acknowledge the things that you didn't like doing, being a part of, the mistakes you made, right? And then you also got to recognize the things that made you happy in 2025 so you can repeat the happy stuff and not do the bad stuff. That's how you will have a great 2026. That's my prediction. That's what I think. Even in Australia and Canada, this exact same thing will work for them. It just will. I was on somebody's live stream last night. What's his name? Philly in the Philippines. I don't know if you know his channel, Brian Philly in the Philippines. He's doing live streams, I think, on Tuesday nights now, where you guys can all go up on his panel if you want and talk to him. And I did that last night. It was fun. He had a troll on there that thought he was smart. Wasn't, but he thought he was. And we had other people popping in and around. One guy been married for 50 years to a Filipina. Another one like 40 years, living in the Philippines for 30 years. So a lot of people, a lot of different experiences. Some guy in Colombia, Dennis, who likes the Philippines, but he was drunk in Colombia. So he was talking about the Philippines like he was there, and then he admitted, no, I'm actually in Colombia right now. So that was kind of funny. Don't know what he was doing there, didn't ask. So a lot of things like that going on. We're trying to do a lot of different things. But that's what we're doing, guys. I hope everybody's doing good, though. If there's anything that we can do to help with anything, if there's a story you'd like, I'm going to become an internet reporter. I want to pretend that I'm part of the press like everybody else and seek out the truth and the knowledge is what I want to do. I want to be the truth finder, the internet truth finder. And we'll go from there. But I don't know. I've been thinking about seeing a chiropractor. I don't know. Does anybody see chiropractors? Do we think a chiropractor is a good thing, or do we think they're not? I've talked to people that said, yes, I like going to my chiropractor. Then I've talked to other people who said, yeah, because I got a bad neck, bad back, but I've been thinking about going to one. Now, I looked one up the other day, and it's like you can go for the first visit for like $30. The intake visit, and I'm sure they're going to say, okay, you need to come to 7, 8, 9, 10 more just visits, right? I don't know how much they will be afterwards, $50, $100. So I've been thinking about going to a chiropractor for my neck in my back. Has anybody been to one? Does anybody go to one? Does anybody know anything about those? I've never been to one. I'm a little worried because I see those videos online where that guy has climbed on top of people and grabbed their arm and pushed on their back and snapped them. And you hear this huge crackling, snacking, and popping. Now, granted, the person usually feels better in a few minutes after they recover from the shock. So, but I truly don't know if I should do that. I'm thinking about doing it. I got $30. I got enough money for the first visit. So I could go to the first visit, maybe get a small adjustment. I don't know what the hell he's going to adjust, because it says for $30, you get the intake visit, I don't know if they do x-rays or not. I can't imagine for $30 they do x-rays. I can't imagine that. They can have my x-rays. I got shitloads of them. But for $30, they do some kind of intake and a physical, I guess, and then supposedly an adjustment. And they work up setting you up a plan of action, an action plan. So I've been thinking about doing that in lieu of, because I'm not going to go back to physical therapy. I think physical therapy is a waste of money. When you come out of the surgery, like ankle surgery or knee reconstruction surgery, I think it's good to go to physical therapy. But for chronic issues, physical therapy is a waste of your damn money. Craig's in the house. He says, 2026, start prepping in every way you can. Or what you think you need, food, power, defense, money, be a hard, tough reality. I think going to realize how soft and vulnerable we all are will be. Craig, I think there's some validity in what you're saying, because I get the feeling that shit's going to hit the fan. I do. I don't know exactly what, but I get the feeling that somebody is going to truly invade and or attack somebody. World peace is not here. The Russia thing and Ukraine is still not resolved. But I think there's another player somewhere that's going to try to make a move, like they think somebody has to go, hey, we have to have bigger balls than the United States of America. If America can bomb us and destroy our nuclear weapons, so to speak, if they can go in and arrest a world leader, a dictator, right now, the United States looks like the big dog on the planet. Whether you like us or not, that's what it looks like, I think. That right now, people perceive the United States as the big dog on the planet. I think somebody else is going to challenge that. Now, I'm not for sure if somebody else is going to attack us, the big dog itself, or if they're going to go and try to attack some other dog that maybe they can actually beat. So I do think something's going to happen. Whether it's North Korea going, hey, or China going, hey, or Russia and China going, hey. But I think Russia's in trouble. I think they're a lot weaker than they've ever been. So I don't know how big of a bite Russia has. They're tied up with Ukraine. They should have beat Ukraine to death in a week. They should have been going on for years. So that Russia's not Russia. China, on the other hand, especially with the Taiwan thing and the Philippines thing, it wouldn't surprise me if that goes that direction. If China doesn't push towards Australia, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they start thinking we're going to take over the Philippines, Taiwan, Papua New Guinea, and so forth, so forth, so forth. It would not surprise me. But I also think there's something else going on somewhere. Somebody else in the Middle East, India, somebody somewhere is going to pop their ugly head up and do something to somebody. Social breakdown, not war. It's much easier to control and bet on. Know the outcome like a rigged horse race. Yeah, so, but I think something has to, Craig, I don't disagree, but I think something has to be the catalyst. It's kind of like, when Austria, the guy from Austria was killed to start World War II. There has to be a catalyst. A domino effect, I believe, because that's what history's been. Now, I know in today's technology and social world, you can create so much chaos through the internet and through the infrastructures, and stir up mass content. But I still think there's going to have to be a domino that falls over to start a revolution, in a sense, to start the discourse, which will lead down to the breakdown. So I don't know which country that's going to be in. I don't think, Craig, to be honest, I don't think you're going to find the United States in a social breakdown. I don't think you're going to do it. Um, we're always in a state of social breakdown, is what we do. I don't think it's going to be any better, any worse. This is the way it's been all my entire adult life in America. We're on the verge of a social breakdown in the United States. So I don't think it will be us. I don't know if it will be in Europe. I don't think it'll be Canada because nobody cares about Canada. Sorry, Dennis. I don't know about Australia, your country, but I don't believe it'll be here. I could see it in England, maybe. I could see it there. I could see it, around India and Pakistan. I could see it in Taiwan and China, in the Philippines. I can see it in those places because it'd be easier to do. And why I say that, Craig, is because I think the United States, for instance, and maybe Australia too, we have so much money, or people, not us, but the people that run our countries, not the politicians, but the people behind the people, have so much money that they're not going to let it affect them negatively. So the power to be that has all of the money in our world is not, they're going to manipulate it to benefit themselves. Because there's no doubt that there is a consortium of people that run the planet. They just do. A consortium of people run the planet. And they're going to dictate what happens and what doesn't happen. They just are. And if they want regime change somewhere, they're going to get it. It's like Colombia may be the next one. I predict, to be honest, I'm thinking about this after what's been going on, and I'm not an expert, and I don't even claim to be one, not even on TV. I think there's a bunch of dominoes getting ready to fall over the next year in 2026. I think truly you're going to see, hopefully, Venezuela's do better. I think you're going to see a regime change in Colombia. I think that's going to happen. I don't mean we're going to go in as the United States and pluck his ass out. But I think there's a catalyst starting in regime changes. I think the tide is shifting. And I do think Cuba, which, here's the funny thing about Cuba, from an American standpoint, we love Cuba. We wish Cuba was part of America. We would like to have Cuba. We could, like the Bahamas, we would love to have Cuba. It'd be great. I mean, we like Cuban food, the people, it's all part of our culture in South Florida. Cuba would fit right in. It'd be great. It's only 90 miles away. We would love to have Cuba. So that would be great. I don't know if we will own Cuba or occupy Cuba, but I think Cuba is going to go through a revolutionary change in the next year. I don't think these things are going to gravely affect countries like China and Russia. It may impact their bottom dollar a little bit, but it's not going to upset their apple carts. They're big enough and powerful enough that they can ride the wave of some tides. And they're also smart enough to know that there's an ebb and flow into politics and political politics. They know that they're pushing out, like China wants Taiwan, so they're trying to do that. Right? So everybody, the major powers are doing that. Russia's doing that. They're trying to claim more territory. The United States is doing the same thing. We're trying to claim more territory. Russia and China is doing the same thing. So it's a push and flow. I do think the bigger countries understand that. And I think they know to ride it out and let the wave go this way, then it comes back this way, and then back and back. That's the point. Collapse the Western world they created and gain more money and control the power. So much easier than trying to solve problems. Gated comms, underground, private. Yeah. No, you're right, Craig. I do believe. What I believe is they're not going to collapse. Okay. but they're definitely going to manipulate, and they can manipulate and reshape. I don't think a total collapse is the smart business decision, right? But I do think manipulating, which we get manipulated every day, Craig, especially in the United States. I truly don't know about other countries, but here in the United States, we are being manipulated every 27 seconds. And why I picked 27 seconds, I have no clue, but we're always being manipulated. We're being told to believe this when this is happening over here. We're being distracted repeatedly. Disinformation, misinformation. We're all over the place, and they're trying to do that intentionally. They got to keep us busy like bees so they can accomplish what they want to accomplish. Same in reverse, exploited through generation world for 400 years to create Western world. Another tool for that. Yeah. I do think, third world countries are that. And I do think we've exploited them, Western countries, not just America. I think we've kept them down intentionally. You got to keep third world countries down. You don't want to bring them up because that's a threat to your status, right? If the Philippines now becomes a second world country or first world country, well, that's pretty screwed up. That's going to hurt. They're taking a piece of the first world country piece of pie. They're taking a piece of pie that is being controlled by X amount of countries, which is what, maybe 20 countries, would you say? I don't know, Russia, China, America, Germany, England, maybe 10, 12 countries, I think, are in the truly the pie that controls the world, the ebb and flow of the world. I don't know if Canada's there. I think they may be there. South American countries, I don't know which one might be there. I just don't know that. But I think there's a first world pie, and they can't afford to have anybody else in that pie. And in fact, they would be happy if somebody would get out of the pie. And I think this is all part of strategy by not only the governments like the president here of the United States, but that consortium of people behind the power worldwide. Because I really believe if you believe that it's only Donald Trump and the Republicans and the Democrats who control the United States, then you're stupid, right? If that's what you think, that your government is what really controls Australia, well, then you're not very educated. There are so many strings attached around the world, and there's people people that we don't even know are play with those strings. The power, I like the thing that Joe Rogan says. I think it's Joe Rogan. Yeah. Is it Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan talks about the richest people on the planet you don't know are the richest people on the planet because they don't talk about it. They don't get on the list because they're rich enough not to get on the list. So they're not on the billionaires list. These are the people from Saudi Arabia, those countries that are oil rich. They are so freaking wealthy. They're not part of that. It's the smartest game. They develop control and know the outcome. Well, I think they want the outcome. I don't know if they know the outcome because, theoretically, I don't think you could ever predict the outcome of anything. But, you know what I mean? But I think they have a plan for the outcome. And I think smart people have a plan for the outcome and they have variations that are acceptable. So it doesn't have to be hard and fast, a black boot. It can be any boot. As long as it's 12 inches tall, 13 inches wide, if it fits in this box, we are winners. Versus it has to be an exact, Tony Lama boot from a serial killer guy. You know what I mean? So, but there's so much going on that we don't have. Even Elon Musk, as rich as he is, as smart as he is, and he may know what's going on. I believe he probably does. He probably understands everything and the players. He probably knows who the players are. I don't know if he wants to be a player or not. I don't think so. I think he's busy playing Space Boy, and he likes that, which is great. I wish he would give me, Elon, I love you. Please give me $5 million so I can buy a house. Just wanted to tell you, Elon, I respect you. I think you're the smartest man on the planet, which you probably are. But if you could just slide me $5 million, American money, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. So I think somebody like him is not pulling the strings, but he knows he knows who the people are pulling the strings. And I don't know if he has any influence, is my point. Even Donald and Elon and Bill Gates, these people that we all know about, I don't think they're pulling the strings. It's people that we don't know about that are pulling the strings. And I don't know how much effect the smaller people that we do know about have. I think they have some effect because they can muddy up the water. I mean, if they can't convince Donald Trump or Elon Musk not to do A, B, and C, and they go ahead and do it, well, there you go. If they can't convince, your government not to bomb the shit out of the Japanese or the Chinese freighter that came too close to your country because they invaded your territorial waters, if they can't control that, well, then they can't control that. So I think there's a lot of small things that the string pullers can't control, but they manipulate the larger things. And that's how the world works. It just is. We don't have a clue. We truly don't have a clue. I don't know, Craig, if you think about that at all, but that's what I think. I think there's people, only a small handful of people that can crash the market, take out the power grids, things like that. There's a few people out there that can truly do serious damage to a country, or multiple countries. And I do think they talk. I do think they say, no, look, we want the Philippines to be this. We want Australia to be this. We want Taiwan to be this. We want America to be this, Canada to be this, because this fits our overall goal and puzzle. So there's a great big puzzle, and they want to fit these pieces in so that it benefits them the most. That's what I think. But what do I know? I'm just a guy that wears a hat who can't be famous because there's already somebody that looks like me. There's already this turd who looks like me, and so now I can't become famous because of him. So what do I know? So that's where I'm at on that. I believe that. So I think Donald Trump can do a lot of damage and have a lot of influence, but do I think he has his hands on one of the strings? No, I don't. Same thing with Elon, everybody, just the way it is. The Prime Minister of England, same way. He may be even weaker than anybody. The Prime Minister of England, that position doesn't seem to be very strong at all. Now, I will say this. One thing I think about is I think the world is in a big change when Prince Henry, is that who's in next to the throne, Prince Henry? Or is it the other guy, Prince whatever? Because I don't follow them. But I think when England gets their new young king in 2, 3, 4 years, I think England's going to change dramatically. I really believe that young guy as king will benefit England and be way more powerful than we think. So scared of reality, dimensional split in 2027. Oh, their knowledge for themselves. Yes, getting desperate, all while being available to those who wish to know and are capable of dealing with it. Yeah. Is it Henry? Prince Henry? I don't know. Whoever the guy is who's going to be the next king of England, I got a feeling once old Charlie dies, and he takes the throne, England is going to have some major reforms. I think Europe is going to greatly change. I think he's young, he's smart. I think he's way smarter than people give him credit for. I think he understands geopolitics like nobody's business, and I think he's going to change the face of Europe like you can't believe. If we're all still here by then. If we haven't gone to World War 400 and all been blown off the planet. I think there's some good things for Europe to come. I really do. I think he's going to step up to the plate and take charge of Europe. he's going to, I really do. I think he's going to step up and do some things. I don't know what people in England think, but that's what I think. I think he truly is going to do that. But William, is that his name? Okay, William. All right, thank you, Greg. I don't pay that much attention. You can just see it when you watch him. He reminds me of Donald Trump, to be honest. He has a look like, yes, and I'm not saying Donald's a nice guy, but he has kind of a look like, yes, I'm a nice guy, but don't fuck with me. He has this look about him. European empire in decline. It is. It is in big decline. And that's what I mean. I think between their immigration problems, their terrorist problems, their financial woes, I think he's going to come on board and reinvent Europe. I think he's going to come in there and rock the boat and tell these politician leaders, look, you're not doing a good job. And he's going to have the bully pulpit as a young king who's well-liked and well-respected, well-mannered, well-groomed, to stand there and say, you are hurting the people, Prime Minister. I think he has the ability to rally people around him as king. I really do. He worries me a little bit because if he's a bad guy, then we're all screwed. So I really believe he has the ability to, I don't want to say like Hitler, but he has a little bit of ability, even like Barack Obama, very good at bringing people together, bringing around him. I think he's that way. I think he could be a leader in Europe, and countries will follow suit, not because they got to listen to him, but because he can motivate the people to make it happen. He can get the people of Ireland to understand what's being wrong to them. I don't know. I know, Craig, what do you think about that? But that's what I think about that. I think he's just one of those guys that royal families are pawns of no importance apart from creating national. I agree. But I think it's going to change. And that's kind of my point about, what did we say his name was? William, Prince William. I agree with you up until him. I just get this feeling by looking at him walk, talk, that he's going to go further. When Daddy dies and he takes over, give him a footer. I think, because I think he's already planning it. I think he has a strategy. I think he's educated. I think he has his pulse on the world differently. I think he wants to be a world leader, not a figurehead. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But that's what I think is going on with him. I think he's going to try to be. Maybe he'll be killed. I don't know. Or whatever. I guess you can't impeach a king. But whatever. Dethroned. But I just get this feeling that when he takes the reins, things are going to change. He's healthy. He's strong mentally and physically. Unlike Queen Elizabeth was, she had a lot of respect. Charles, I really do, Craig. I think things are going to change for Europe. Pat is in the house. Good evening, Pat. How are you, my friend? What are you up to? What's going on? I'll drop you the link if you want to come up in the panel. We're just kind of hanging out. So, good to see you, Pat. Pat, say hello to Craig and everybody else in the house. You doing good? Nice. And I do think there's even in America, once you get, and Craig, and kind of what I mean is, I'm an old guy and you're kind of an old guy too. But once we get some of these educated, and I don't mean by colleges, but by life, into office and get rid of all the old ass white guys and the old ass women out of politics and running the government, I think our planet's going to change greatly when we start to have new blood running countries. If we get, the J.D. Vance is his name, right? Vice President. When he becomes president.
Oh, what happened here, Brother David, in my hair?
Yes, you're here, but you got your feedback under control. Lost it. So I think when you get these younger guys, and I don't know who you have in Australia that's kind of a younger guy, up and coming, but I think when that happens and the old guard is out of here, I think things are going to change for the better. Because it's just, the world is moving too fast for old men like us. The technology is moving too fast. The extraterrestrials are moving too fast. There he is. Pat's in the house. How are you?
Yeah, doing good.
What are you up to tonight?
Not a whole lot. Yeah, I can barely see you there. It's kind of small in the photo. What happened here?
Inspector General,
I can see you.
Yeah.
Investigation with the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Civil Rights Division to figure out
Hello, everybody.
exactly how. Instead, there is a blame game, and I actually don't agree there to be a blame game. State officials either. I think that both sides need to make sure that we're getting the facts first, and then we can go from there. Yeah, I do think this entire.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I got a hot pad on my leg and knee tonight.
How does a mom with 6-year-old child who is now in prison? How did that person get stuck?
Your TV's too loud. All I'm getting is TV.
Yeah, let me walk out of here and then I'll go somewhere quiet here. Hang on just a second.
So maybe if you do want to, I guess, characterize the president's statements, one particular, have the FBI come out and say that they are going to investigate.
Why we survive.
There we go. Is that better?
Yes. So prepare and enjoy the moments left. Yes. That's Craig says hello to you, Pat.
Hey, Craig.
So but Craig, I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what I think. What have you been doing, Pat? Anything?
I've been kind of relaxing. I had a big fall last night. My leg gave out, and I had been using a hot pad on my leg and knee tonight, and left leg.
That's not good.
Yeah, not good.
So, did you hurt yourself other than the fall? I mean, then your leg giving out?
Yeah, I hurt myself real bad. So I'm gonna have to probably make a doctor's appointment here the next few days and see if they'll take a X-ray of the knee. I'm walking fine. It just kind of feels kind of funny in the knee and the leg. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I went to the doctor today for my back. So.
Right.
Yeah, I did that myself. But when you're old, you got to take care of yourself. It's a new
yeah,
year.
that's right. That's right.
You're wanting to go to the Philippines this year, I hope, and so you got to.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
I was telling somebody the other night that look, I just don't think the Philippines is a good place for old crippled people like me.
Right.
You got to be young to enjoy it and healthy to enjoy it. Craig, I got to get out of here. All right, Craig, we appreciate you. Good talking to you. We'll see you. Maybe check in with us Saturday. I know your time is way different than ours, but we'll be live Saturday. I think we're going to go live late Friday night too. So it may be like later than this on Friday night. So more lights off work. I'm going to be decorating the house, but I might do a live stream anyway, late at night, Friday. So, but yeah, I went to the doctor myself today to talk to the doctor about the back. So I'm gonna do one of those radio ablation type things where they use radio waves to kill some of the nerves in the back.
Yeah.
So we got that scheduled for the next month or so. And then we're having a big party Saturday, baby shower Saturday.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's something. It's
yeah.
It's always something, right?
All right. Yeah, the weather's been pretty nice last couple of days. Been about 50 and 60, and then I know it's supposed to get back to cold here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think they're saying it's going to be cold Saturday and maybe part of Sunday. And then it's supposed to be back up in the 70s.
Yeah.
Craig says, I got to work on Sunday here, so I can't hang out and watch you guys eat Filipino food and listen to all of the girls at the shower try to sing and talk over each other. I know what Craig is thinking. Craig is thinking, you're going to have 30 Filipinos there and nobody's going to be able to hear the other one because they're all going to be talking over each other. So Bye is in the house. Bye, how are you? Good to see you, young lady. Pat's here. Craig
Hello,
is
bye.
heading out to work. How are you? What's going on in your world, Bye? How's the Philippines? So yeah, we're doing a baby shower, get that over with, but it should be a big one, you know. We're gonna live stream. I got to do a lot of cooking on Friday, Pat.
Oh, man. A lot of cooking.
Yeah. Cooking on Friday and preparation on Saturday. But Lorelai's going to take Friday off to help or to do, well, she's going to do the majority of the work.
Yeah.
And the baby's daddy is coming over on Friday to decorate the house with Lorelai, so I don't have to do that. Bye is saying, hello, everybody. What's going on in Bye's world today? Other than that, not too much going on around here. I got to go buy a new battery for my old beat up fishing truck. Dennis says, Mother Hubbard is in the house. Good to see you, Miss Bye from Dennis. Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy New Year to you. How's your New Year? Today is day 7 in America. And I got to admit, the first week has been kind of shitty.
Right.
It's been kind of stressful. The first week of July, I would say July. What is this? January. The first week of January hereby has been a little rough around the edges for a few reasons. So I'm not super excited so far. But Happy New Year to you. Bye says, hello, Dennis. Dennis is in hot demand, Bye. You better be nice to him. He's got women coming out of the woodwork chasing Dennis. He's got women he doesn't even know that are chasing him. Dennis is asking you, Bye, where is ACHTN? Your arm candy. Where's your man? Where's your man? The myth, the legend. So, Pat, who are you talking to? Are you talking to any Filipinas currently?
Well, I've talked to the one from Iligan, Lanoya City, so it's been a while since last time I talked to her. She finally buzzed, but it's not like it has been. But I don't know. I just been kind of waiting and patiently, kind of see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
And then
right.
I've been on Brother Fred's live channel, and then been on Ian's, and then Mike's. Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah, I haven't caught those guys in the last week or so. I caught
Right.
them last week, but this week I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah. I've been kind of testing the trying to go live, but trying to get it to where you go and change the time and date when to go live. But it seems like it's not wanting to work, and then my brother ain't got enough time to show me, so I'm trying to figure it out still by myself.
Maybe tomorrow or another day we can FaceTime and I'll walk you through it.
All right.
So, Bye says Henry is busy moving into his new 5,000 square foot house on 7 acres.
Oh, nice.
Wow. With another woman. How many? Well, he has a 5,000 square foot house, he said. So you could put, a woman only needs about 200 square feet, Dennis. I mean, maybe 400 square feet. So you can put a lot of women in that one. How are you, Poppy Dennis? You know? Yeah, I just bought a new rug. That's all we've done in our house.
Yeah.
Lorelai wanted a new rug in the living room, and I'm going to put the old rug here in my office, I think. But we were at Lowe's, and we got a $500 rug for $125 on clearance, and we bought it. So really happy with that. But other than that, we haven't been doing a whole lot besides just doctoring and getting parties and winding up parties and all of that crap. So
yeah.
Bye, what is Bye doing in the Philippines? She doing anything? Yeah. So what's the other guys doing? I was on Philly in the Philippines live stream last night on his panel.
Yeah.
And but I haven't seen Mike this week. Was he on this week?
He was on here maybe I think like 2 or 3 days, and then me and him video called earlier today.
Good.
Yeah.
And Fred, he always pops on late at night.
Yeah, he comes on right around about. We used to be 1:30, but now he changed it to 2:30 on his music channel, whatever you call that. Yeah.
Dennis is asking when is the wedding? Wedding bells. Well, Dennis, the first question is, where's my plant looking? My plant was out of position. But who's the wedding whip, Dennis? You got to have a fiance before you can get married. Just kind of the way it works, Dennis. So, bye. Here's Pat. Let me show you. So I was at the doctor's today, and the lady thought I looked like him.
Uh-oh.
She thought I was a famous actor, and I kept telling the nurse lady, "Hey, I am a famous." She's like, "No, really, you look like a famous actor." And I was like, "Bitch, I am famous." She's like, "No, you really look like a famous actor." Jesus Christ. I can't even be famous because somebody else looks famouser than me. Isn't that horrible? I can't wait to get married by really? Wow. Maybe soon. Do you have somebody picked out by? Cool. Yes. But I was offended. I'm like, lady, I am famous. I've been on the news. I've given news interviews. I've spoken in crowds of 5,000. I'm on the internet. Like, no, really. You look like somebody famous. So, or I tried finding the Brian guy. So, Dennis says, bye. Wow, bye. New profile photo. You got a new profile photo? Let me look. Let me look at my photo. Let's see. Dennis, do you approve of it? Let me look and see if I approve of it. Gotta go to the channel. By showing off what God gave her. There you go. No wonder Dennis noticed it.
I think there'll be something in this case.
No wonder Dennis notices. Dennis notices those pictures, man. He's got vision like a microscope. He can look at those tiny circles, and he can spot a new photo a mile away. He's got the talent. But yeah, I got to go this week and put a battery in my old truck. I hate doing that. They're like, have you guys seen how expensive car batteries are? Oh my God.
Oh man.
I mean, just for my truck is going to run me probably $150 to $200 for a freaking battery. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, somebody was in a live earlier. Somebody told me, they said, "Oh, your name is Patrick Raleigh." They was looking at my name on my YouTube, and they saw Pat's Philippine Dreams, and said, "Why don't you change that name for?" I said, "No, it's going to stay there for a long time." Yeah.
Why would you change it?
Well, I told them I wasn't changing it, and they wanted me to change it. And I was like, "No, I'm not doing that." Yeah.
I guess my question is, why did they think you should change it?
Oh, why? Oh, they said they didn't like it or something. I was like, well,
tell them to kiss your ass.
Yeah. I'd start telling them that,
Say, well, tough shit, not yours, so mind your business.
Right.
Maybe that's why I'm not famous. I'm too mean. A little bit too much of kiss my ass and mind my business, right?
Right.
Now
I made today 262 subscribers today. It's like, well, man, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah. Are you posting anything?
I haven't posted any videos yet. I have one video, but it's kind of messed up a little bit. So I'm going to have my brother to go in and try to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can do it, man. You can do it.
Yeah.
Just got to keep working at it.
Yeah. So I'm still learning this YouTube still a little bit, little by little.
Well, you know, Bai's an expert. She has a big channel now.
Right.
Craig, our friend Craig, who's in Australia, he has got a good channel too. A lot of good channels out there. Small,
Yeah.
really good small channels. You know, some of the bigger channels, I've had some of the bigger channels reach out to me recently, but
Yeah.
you know, but what are you going to do, right? You just keep doing you, man, and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of the Patricia lately, thinking of Dennis.
Every now and then, Patricia will show up on, what's his name? Yeah, Brother Fred's channel. Yeah.
All right.
And, she kind of pops in and out every now and then.
Bai says, later, everybody, I gotta
Thank-
go. I gotta clean the house, get ready for whatever I'm doing in the Philippines.
Take care, bye.
We appreciate you, young lady. Stay safe. And hopefully someday you'll get to ring those wedding bells. And hopefully it'll be a good day. It'll be a good day. So keep the faith. Keep your head up. Keep moving. Keep motivating. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. I don't catch Fred very much because he comes on so late. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't catch Ian very much either because he's on so late. So
Yeah. See, last few days, maybe over the weekend thing, it was maybe Saturday. Ian popped up early in the evening time. It was like about 9 o'clock.
yeah, he was on one of my live streams the other day.
Oh wow.
So he was on one of the live streams early.
Yeah.
Maybe last weekend when we did the dance party. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
But he was. So he's a good guy. He means well.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I've been trying to be a little bit more active in that realm, but I still don't get a lot of time to go to people's live streams, and I don't get notifications like everybody else.
Yeah. I don't get him hardly that much often either.
Yeah, I mean, I go to the Double Rose Twins when I see them. I pop in and say hi to them.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, you know, theirs is pretty busy, so a lot of times they can't really keep up and have a real chat.
Yeah.
But because they get a lot of attention from men, so you know. And I haven't Nara message or watched the video and sent me a message the other day, but I haven't seen her live in the last few days either. I haven't been getting anything about her going live.
Yeah. Yeah. She had a live, what they call a silent live yesterday. But yeah, she wasn't. I think she was cleaning house, so she said she wanted to have a silent live, and she wasn't in the picture, but she was doing other things in the house, you know.
Yeah. But when I see her, I try to go visit her.
Yeah, me too.
And she's popped in on ours a few times, but you know, it's just hard to keep up with everybody. Yeah. And of course, I kind of have the rule, you know, just out of respect. I try not to spend too much time on girls' channels, you know, just because I'm married and, you know, I just don't like visiting females' channels. That, you know, I don't mind going and saying hi and, you know, chatting for a minute and getting out. So,
Give me a minute, David. I'll still be in the message. I'll send messages because I got something I got to do here.
okay.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Got to see what's going on here. So, Dennis, if you're in the background, did you like Bai's new thumbnail? What about my new thumbnail? Yeah. I mean, I grew my hair long just for that thumbnail. Pat says, I am here in the background. Let's see, what time is it anyway? Oh, it's 9:30. Oh, it's 9:30, guys. All right, sorry about that, but I'm going to jump off of here. Didn't realize it was 9:30 already. So I'm going to wind this one down and tell you all that I appreciate you. Tell you all that we're going to be live Saturday for the baby shower. And then I'm going to probably go live late Friday night if I stay awake. So around 10, 11, 12 midnight or so on this coming Friday night is what I'm going to try to do. But Saturday for sure, we'll have the big baby shower and we'll do live and try to have some fun with that one. So hopefully everybody will come and join us for that. But I appreciate everybody coming in. Dennis, Bye, Pat. Who else was here? Craig was here for a long time, the whole time. A lot of different good people. So we appreciate all of them coming in. Ken was here. He had to go do some stuff himself. Trying to find my views. AJ was here. Like AJ. AJ's a good guy. He's living the life, man. AJ is. So, all right, everybody. We greatly appreciate you. Hang on. I got to do something before I hang up. Got to find something before I hang up. Trying to find something. Come on now. I'm trying to find one comment that I need to save. So before I hang up here. Dang it. Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, all right. Sorry. All right, everybody, we appreciate you. Thank you all for being here once again. Appreciate you guys. We will see you later on in the week. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, you got to do that to do that. All right. See you guys.